Hello guys, welcome down to Matter Midfield. We are here for the Long Island Rough Riders facing off today against New Jersey Copa. Game's going to be kicking off in about 15 minutes. We can see the Rough Riders women out there warming up. Not that you need much of a warm up today. It is a baking 97 degrees at the moment. Thankfully we're in some shade here, but I can tell you that turf is absolutely roasting. Perhaps maybe about 90, somewhere around there. It's very, very hot. But the Rough Riders are going to be facing off against Copa today. Going to have probably at least one water break somewhere in that first half. Let's have a look at the table right now. And the Rough Riders going into this game on a good little run of form. They've got 2 wins in a row. They got their first win of the season just 10 days ago against the Connecticut Rush, 2-0 win. And then they played Copa, New Jersey on Saturday. So they just played each other, these two teams, and they won 1-0 in that game, courtesy of a Tesoriero goal. So the Rough Riders right now sitting at 10th, but a couple of game in hands on the competition above them. And you can see New Jersey Copa is one of those teams sitting above them. And Jersey going in a bit more mixed form. They've won one, drawn one, lost one in their last 3. Of course, the loss being the game I just mentioned against the Rough Riders on Saturday. But they carry a lot of threat. In particular, they've got up front Melanie Kuna, who's in 5 games has scored 6, and she will be leading the line today for Copa. And we'll just have a look at them warming up for now. All right, guys, and both teams just coming off the field. Get ready for the walk-up, and that means it is time for our Long Island Rough Riders starting lineup. We have starting in goal, Melissa Guglielmo. The skipper is going to be at centre-back, Kimberly Mara. Sitting alongside her is going to be Kellyanne Brogy at left-back. She got an assist in the last game, Neela Colomusto. We have at right-back, Amanda Buck. Sitting in front of that back four is going to be Michelle Wieniak, who is such an important part of keeping the ball and also winning it back in that middle bit. We have in the midfield, sitting in front of Wieniak, we have Alexa Snyder, the playmaker. We have a recent signing, Emily Rose, sitting along there in the centre midfield. And in the attacking midfield position, Cristina Tesoriero, who got a goal last week against the Copa. And up front, she's the top scorer this season with 4 goals, Janine Nunez. And sitting alongside her is going to be number 4, Christine Dutcher. So there is our starting 11. You see the Rough Riders are playing a 4-4-2 with a diamond in the middle. Let's have a look at who's on the bench. We've got number 3, Nicole Bermudez. Number 12, Hope Neal. Number 13, the backup goalkeeper, Lucy Gillette. Elizabeth Cruz, who's always very lively off the bench. And finally, the centre forward, Stephanie Tangaris. You can see now both teams just getting ready for the walkout. Red Copa. And the last time we saw the Rough Riders women down at Motormed Field, it was about 10 days ago, where they faced off against Connecticut Rush. Getting their first win of the season, it was a Nunez brace. Nunez turned out to be the scourge of Connecticut. She scored 2 against both Connecticut teams in the division in the space of a week. Certainly be looking to carry on that form today up front for the Rough Riders. We have our Rough Riders starting 11 out there in the white. Just waiting for their Copa counterparts. And one notable change as they walk out, the two teams, to Copa today, is they are missing Andrea Leitner, their not usual goalkeeper, who's kept a couple of clean sheets this season. It's Caitlin Torres who's deputising for a goal today. As we have our two teams lining up. And we're just a moment or two from kickoff now. Sides out on this field now in this baking heat, and it's going to be the Copa top scorer Melanie Kuna to set us off with a partner up there, Costello. And we are off and underway. Copa in the red, the Rough Riders in the white. And can the Rough Riders make it 3 wins in the trot? Or will Copa get revenge for their defeat on Saturday to these Rough Riders women? Winiak. One back by Severini. Severini gives it to Allen. Tesseriero's earned a place in the starting up today with the goal on Saturday and a good performance. Colin Musto throws it in, looking for Tesoriero. Tesoriero, a lot of red shirts around her. She's going to keep it in. That's a bit of a late one on Alexa Snyder. And the Rough Riders are going to have a first free kick of the game, and in not too bad a position on the corner of the box, about 25 yards out. And Dutcher standing over it alongside Mara. It's going to be Mara who sends it in, and it's too close to Torres, who comfortably gathers. Cummings. And they're working the force nicely. Copa. Head out by Colomusto. That's going to fall. Kuna. And Kuna was looking to find it in to the middle. Rough Riders clearing it out. There's going to be a throw deep inside of their half. Stoner giving that into Strout. Strout turning, giving it to Severini. That's taken a couple of ricochets there. Snyder's going to try and bring that out. Sterno gets a foot on it. Here's Tesoriero. Just lost her feet again. And Allen just a little bit loose with a touch. And Rose looking out for Nunez, couldn't find her. And Mara's looking for Nunez, and Nunez has managed to slip away from Allen. Allen coming back. Nunez searching for that gap, gives it to Rose, and Rose takes that early with her left foot. I couldn't get the power behind it. Costello, going out to Severini. Cleared out by Snyder. Allen took a ricochet and hit her off the hand. Amara sending that one direct. Snyder looking to flick onto Nunez. Cleared out by Bruno. And Kuna couldn't keep that one in. As I said, Melanie Kuna, the real danger woman for the Rough Riders. Sorry, for Copa. Scored 6 goals in 5 games, as well as 2 assists. Snyder trying to work that onto her right foot. Comes back to her. It's Colomusto. And Colomusto got caught a little bit late. The referee waving play on Nunez, then getting caught late. Tesoriero, referee giving the advantage, and it's sent it towards that back post. Too close to Torres again, but promising down that left side by the Rough Riders. Severini bringing it out. Gives it into Bruno. Very nearly nicely worked between the front line of Copa. Strout was making that run in behind. The final pass by Costello intercepted. But looking in behind there for Nunez, intercepted by Cummings, who was alert to the danger, and Cummings now looking to set her own pass behind. Guglielmo off her line quickly though, gathers that one comfortably. Not quite the clearance Guglielmo's looking for, and it's back with Costello. Battling away with Colamusto. Colamusto done really well, but it's back with Costello. And Colamusto barely finished the first tackle before she's up on her feet to flying with the second. Colamusto clearing that one out again. Copa having a little bit more of the ball in the opening exchanges of this game. Sterno looking to wriggle between Tesoriero and Snyder. Couldn't find the gap, and Tesoriero telegraphed the pass, and it's intercepted by Severini. She's giving it back to Sterno. Cuts in on Colamusto, but Colamusto again. A good tackle. The Rough Riders just being a little bit sloppy with the ball at the moment. Costello is giving it into Cunha. Got caught a little bit late. Play waved on. Nunez bringing that one down. And Winiak looking direct again. And that one's borne back by Rose. And Rose is going to have an opportunity here to drive at the defence. She's got Nunez on her left. And she goes for the long spectated effort, and it wasn't the worst idea in the world. Torres was still about 8 yards off of her line. Jacqueline Bruno gives to Severini. Bowen into Strout. It's a good step by the skipper, Mara. Colamusto's going to have to watch this one. Cunha's got on the other side of her. Cunha giving it back to Sterno. Ambrogi reading that one well. And Ambrogi will bring this one forwards. She's looking to set away Nunez, who's pulled away on that left side, just a little bit over it. That's a good idea by the centre back. Snyder giving it into Dutcher. Tesoriero. Colamusto. And the Copa players asking for it to be caught out. The referee judging it to be on the line, and it's going to carry on with Snyder here on the left. Snyder getting tackled by Bruno. Going back to Snyder. And Snyder's taking that onto her right foot. She's going to drive it across. And Allen, it was awkward for Allen. And I think, thankfully for her in the end, she didn't get too much contact on that because that was going towards the goal. Torres managing to recover. Allen chasing down Nunez there. Colamusto looking for Dutcher. Well dealt with by Lauren Bruno. And Cummings giving that to Severini. Severini going back to Allen. Allen just looking up for Costello. It's gone forwards. Tesoriero looking for the flick on and turn. Bowen. Cummings. Cummins looking direct for Costello. And Mara doing well there just to shepherd that back to a goalkeeper. And a pretty high tempo first 10 minutes, given the heat out there. We'll be expecting to have a water break about halfway through, probably on the 25-30 minute mark. They're going to need it. And back giving that to Nunez. Rose just keeping the ball. And back looking up for Dutcher. But Dutcher a little bit at a height disadvantage. Both are on Nunez against the back three of Copa, in particular Cummings in the centre. Lauren Bruno giving it to Strout. Bruno very calm with it there. Snyder going back to Colin Musto, but the red shirt swarming around and winning it back. Snyder not watching the missed pass though, winning it back well. And Nunez looking to turn on Allen. Good recovery by Jacqueline Bruno though. Severini. And Rose just got a foot in. It's going to go out for Copa, throwing near their corner flag. Severini is going to try and break on that left side, but Amanda Buck has got good pace in her. Tracking back there. Head up towards Dutcher. Dutcher couldn't bring it down though. Torres giving that to Lauren Bruno. Tesoriero doing very well to wriggle away from two red shirts there. Couldn't get past the third though. And Kunos coming down that right side. Just Costello in the middle of the road at the moment. She's going to whip that in with her left. And Buck on hand to clear it. Back with Kuno on that right side. Sterno looking to cut it. And this time it's Colin Musto who's cleared it. And they're coming back again, Copa. Rose getting only as far as Jacqueline Bruno. And Jacqueline Bruno having a speculative effort. It's well hit, only about a foot above the bar. Guglielmo content enough to just watch it travel. Winiecki getting a good header on that one. They're looking in behind again. Played up towards Costello. Rough Riders just about clearing it out. Colin Musto towards Dutcher. They're looking in behind, it's sent towards Sterno. It's a little bit overhit by Strout. As we're 15 minutes into this first half. Neither side getting a clear-cut chance yet. But both teams playing at a decent tempo given the temperature they're fighting today. Guglielmo just driving that out to Carlo Musto. It's going to be another Copa throw-in. Rose getting us foot on that. It's back with Lauren Bruno. Tesoriero's looking to set away as Ambrogi was pushing forwards. Now a little bit of gap there from Ambrogi. And they're going to look to exploit it. Send it towards the back post, and both Severini and Costello were sniffing around it. Guglielmo gathering it on the second attempt. Dutcher giving it to Tesoriero. Comes back to Tesoriero. Rose giving it back to Mara. Took a deflection off Rose, but it's going to fall to Winiek. Snyder gives it back to Winiek. And Mara covering a good gap there. Severini coming from that left side and was looking for that space in the middle. But Amanda Buck now is going to have a bit of space to drive into. She's got Dutcher on the inside. Gives it to Dutcher. Dutcher's turning. Tesoriero. Back to Buck, and Buck's going to send that towards Dutcher, intercepted. Nunez give that back to Carlo Musto. Nunez. Winiek. She's looking over the top, but no one making the run in behind. The Rough Riders just struggling a little bit to keep the ball at the moment. Mara. Just does enough to get it out, but it's going to be a Copa throw-in inside the Rough Riders half. And that did look a bit like a foul throw. It's going to fall back to Severini. And Kuna is twisting and turning, and she certainly can hit them, and did well to fashion herself a half yard for the shot. Couldn't hit the target. And we're going to have our first water break of the half. 21 minutes in, and it's all level. Neither side really seriously threatening the goal thus far. Good chance as well this water break just for both teams to just get their heads together and maybe change the approach. particularly interesting seeing the Rough Riders with their diamond 4-4-2 formation going up against what looks like from Copa a 5-3-2 with 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs. And it has made it a little bit challenging so far for the Rough Riders front two, particularly against the physically imposing back three of Copa. And guys, while we have that break, I would like to let you know that at 8 PM tonight, we're going to have more Long Island Rough Rider football. We're going to have the men's facing off against Westchester Flames. The men's currently top of the USL2 Eastern Conference and also the most recent Powerball rankings that I saw. And they're facing off against bottom of the table Westchester Flames. So tune in for that one. It'll be at 8 PM back here at Motormed Field. Now, there's a quick water break. The referee calling both teams back on. And the play will restart with Amanda Buck with that throw in. And off we go again. Buck tossing it down the line towards Dutchess. One's head out with a big there by Severini. And forced to Tesoriero. Bowen getting a foot on it, and the referee actually giving a free kick for that. Just came in a little bit too hard on the back of her. And Kimberly Mara coming over to deliver this one in. Rough Riders are pushing up 6 white shirts around the penalty area. Cleared out simply enough by Strout. Colin Musto away though to stop the counter-attack, and here's Rose. And Emily Rose will bring this one forward. Giving it out to Dutcher. And Dutcher got clipped, and she was just inside the penalty area. Not too much protest made by the centre forward, but there's definitely some kind of contact. Play goes on. Here's Costello. Buck putting in a solid tackle there. Into Tesoriero, who was looking to slip that into the path of Dutcher, but Dutcher had come inside looking for the crossover. And Cummings would try and just about shepherd that one out. Cummings send that one out. Alexa Snyder getting a good head on it. Bruno giving that to Sterno. Intercepted by Winiek. Tesoriero. Twisting and turning, looking to set away Nunez. Snyder shepherding that one back. And she's put her body in the way and got slammed into by Sterno. It'll be another free kick for Rough Riders. Colin Musto, who has a very sweet left foot and has a couple of assists to her name already this season. He's going to send this one in. Let's see what the left back can deliver. Sent towards Tesoriero, but not the best ball. Didn't get into the box. Buck. Looking for Dutcher, couldn't find her. Severini putting herself under enough pressure. Rose intercepting that one. She's made a couple of turnovers in the middle, Rose, and she's driving forwards now. Gives it to Nunez. Tesoriero lurking in the penalty area. Nunez stood up really well by Bruno. And here's Sterno now on the right side. Costello. Clever flick onto Severini. But Ambrogi got a very brave head on that and got hit on the cheek afterwards. Didn't look too heavy, the contact, thankfully, but free kick given. The referee actually going to restart with a drop ball, just correctly checking. Guglielmo didn't connect with that one, and Severini gives it into Costello, and here's Kuma. Kuno was looking back forwards for Costello. So full back Severini, and here is Costello. And she's been brought down right on the edge there, Kuna. And the Rough Riders going to have a free kick. Sorry, Copa right on that edge. And Copa have been trying those quick interchanges, the front two with the midfielders coming forwards. Haven't quite connected that final pass yet, but they've looked dangerous with those triangles. Kuna actually lost a boot in that tackle. Got Bowen standing over it right now. And Cummings also in the mix. It's like Kuna just finishing off her shoelaces. The Rough Riders 4 in the wall, but not a huge amount of height in there, and there's definitely some space for Bowen to exploit. She can get that up and down. Plenty of red shirts staying for as well. And Bowen steps up and right into the wall. Hit Winiek. And the Rough Riders escape that. Back with Lauren Bruno. And she's going to dink that in. And it's going to fall. And it's Costello. And it's a sitter. She was in acres of space on the edge of the 6-yard box, and she just fluffed the final shot. And the Rough Riders escaping that one. They all pushed out, but Bruno's ball caught them off guard. And best chance of the game so far. Copa be very disappointed they're not 1-0 up. Severini. It's bouncing around. Rough Riders just hesitating a little bit back there, and they're looking behind again, Copa, and Severini going forwards, but Guglielmo off our line quickly. They're looking a little bit shaky at the moment at the back. And they've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 2 matches, the Rough Riders. Just need to steady the ship a little bit back there. And Rose giving that to Ambrogi. Winiek got caught on the turn, but managed to retrieve it. Strout with it again. Only out for a Rough Riders throw. So we're past half-hour mark in this first half. And Nunez holding that one up. And lovely feet by Nunez, and she got brought down. Did really well there. The Rough Riders top scorer. Colin Musto will have another go at delivering this one in. Getting towards the box, and Snyder looking for the flick on, and it's fallen to Nunez. That's a good tackle by Jacqueline's Bruno. Colin Musto's on an unfavoured right foot, didn't connect well with that one. Severini giving it to Strout. A good work back by the Rough Riders just to stop the counter-attack in its tracks. Rose. Dutcher looking for that space to the right. It's fallen to Nunez. It's got half yard, and Nunez having the shot on the turn, and she scored from that range before this season. Didn't get the connection she wanted that time. That's straight to Dutcher, and Nunez. Everyone just letting it bounce. Snyder's got some space, and she's found Alexis Snyder. Coming on that left. Watched very carefully by Lauren Bruno. And Bruno dealing with that one again, and Lauren Bruno's been solid in the right defence thus far in the game. Colin Musto to throw it back in. Tesoriero looking for that flick on, but no one gambling at that front post. It's going to go back to the keeper. And Snyder winning that one back well, and it's a 3-on-3 for the Rough Riders. Dutcher on the left, Nunez on the right. Snyder looking for Dutcher, and Dutcher's through! And the flag's gone up. Beautifully weighted pass by Alexa Snyder. And Dutcher just straight a fraction offside. Put it just past the post anyway. First real breakthrough Rough Riders achieved so far. All started with a good turnover by Snyder. And Winier getting caught on that by Kuna. And it's going to fall to Severini. Amanda Buck coming over from right back, covering well for her centre backs. Snyder was caught there. The referee playing on. It's going to go to Severini. She's got Buck looking over her, but she sent it back in. And here's Kuna, and Kuna's got some space in the box. Sent back in, Kuna! Right over the bar. Not far at all by Kuna that time. So at a tight angle, she's just trying to dink it in at that back post. But both teams since the water break having some decent chances. The Copa having 2 good clear chances in the Rough Riders penalty area, and the Rough Riders having that one opening just a fraction offside for Dutcher. And Ambrogi dealing with that one well. Tesoriero looking to break away with it, got brought down from behind. Colomosto to Tesoriero. But first touch just straight back out. And Ambrogi doing well just to shepherd out that long throw. And Winier getting a flick onto that, looking for Tesoriero. But Severino, who's moved onto that right side. She's switched with Sterno, who's now on the left. To try their joy out on the different flanks. Nunez, though, going to drive forwards with it. Buck on the overlap. But Sterno tracked back really well there, just to shepherd it out. Winier giving it to Nunez. Bruno putting a foot through that one, and that's going to be something for Costello to chase. A little bit too much pace on the clearance from Bruno. Big hoof by Guglielmo. Miscue by Allen, and Snyder is going to bring it forward. She's looking for Nunez, who just dropped off of Allen. And Nunez giving it back to Rose. And it's a hopeful hit over the top for back for Nunez, but did not connect. Winier giving it to Ambrogi. And Ambrogi driving that one forward. She's looking to stay away Dutcher. It's come back to her. She does get to Dutcher this time. Tesoriero moving up in the middle with her. Switched out to Rose. And Nunez is one-on-one with Allen. And Nunez gives it back. Dutcher, Tesoriero, and Tesoriero is offside. And Dutcher probably would have been better off just to hit that. She had the opening. And it's Costello down right now. Sorry, Bowen even. For Copa. Just pulled up after that tackle in the centre of midfield. Back on our feet now, hopefully nothing more than just impact. All right, in the last 2 minutes of this first half, it's still level. Copa having better chances in the first half, but the Rough Riders have looked threatening as well. Here comes Kuno, that first touch overran it. Colomosto getting a good head on that one. Dutcher into Snyder. Snyder doing well to turn away from those red shirts. She's got great awareness, and she's got brought down there by Severini. Looks like Mara's just going to send this one direct up into the visitors' penalty area. And only 5 defenders back for Copa against 5 attackers. A little bit brave. We need to extend that one back in, but no one on the end to receive it. And we need to get a good head on that. Rose gives it to Buck. But she's been caught on it, Buck. And Kuna got Costello up ahead. It's a nice give and go, and Severini's going to chase that. She'll do well to keep in, Severini. She can't. It's gone out for a goal kick. And that probably the last action of note of this first half. And there is the halftime whistle. Going all tied up. There have been a couple of good chances. The most notable one falling to Costello, right on the edge of the 6-yard box, and really should have scored it. But put it a few feet wide in the end. But we are all tied up on this baking hot day at Motormare Field, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. Guys, we are back. We're gonna be restarting in just a moment or two. The Rough Riders went into the changing room for a little bit just to get out of the heat for 10 minutes or so. Much needed. It's 90 degrees out there on motor midfield. The Rough Riders, they've got 5 on the bench today. You didn't see a white sheet fly around, did you? Team's back on the field, and we have a couple of changes for the Rough Riders. We've got Lucy Gillette in goal, coming on for Guglielmo, and Elizabeth Cruz. It's also subbed in for Dutcher. And Nunez will get us started again. Both teams are going to want to win today if they chase those playoff spots. And let's see if either side can find more of a cutting edge in the second half. And here's Elizabeth Cruz substitute with an early chance to break away down that left side. Down by the corner flag. Stood up well there by Cummings. Intercepted by Carla Musto. But Winet's lost it, and Jacqueline Bruno will drive forwards with this one. She's looking in behind for Kuna. Well intercepted by Mara. And Nunez judging that bounce well. Turning inside at Allen, but Allen recovering. And Allen now is going to come down this left side. Overrun it, and Buck getting a foot in it. Tesoriero just dwelling on it too much, and Jacqueline Bruno is going to have the left-footed shot. A couple of feet over the bar. Copa starting with a little bit of an increased tempo in the second half. Just send that one up. Cruz looking to turn. Snyder is looking for Nunez or Rose, split between them. Man back, giving it to Nunez. Sterno, off to Kuna. First touch laid down, and here's Snyder, who wins so many balls back there in that centre midfield. Can do plenty of dangerous things with it as well. Nunez. He's looking in behind for Cruz, intercepted by Cummings, but both teams just playing with a bit of a high tempo, and what may have helped a little bit is the sun is mercifully in right now, which has brought the temperature down a good 10-15 degrees. Here comes Kuna. Kuna looking in behind, and it's Severini who's through, but she's offside. Nicely finished. But fell the wrong side of the linesman's flag that time. Allen getting caught between her feet, getting it on the recovery. Lauren Bruno clearing that one out. They might fall for Struno, and Struno's gone inside of Carla Musto. Kuna on the left foot! And it's a wild shot, but she got caught late by Carla Musto. And they're gonna have a free kick right on the edge here. The visitors. And this is dangerous territory for the Rough Riders. And New Jersey have had a couple of good attacks already in the first few minutes of the second half. Jacqueline Bruno and Bowen both over the ball. And Lucy Gillette must get her first test of this game. There's going to be Bruno who hits it and curls it just past the post. Just needed a little bit more bend, and that would have been right in the top corner. And Snyder's turned that one over, and the Rough Riders have got numbers here. She's looking early in for Cruz, and just a little bit over hit. Torres coming off the line to gather it. Jacqueline Bruin gives it back to Bowen, who just put her foot through that one. We need it fixed onto Tesoriero. Wriggles away from Bowen. Carla Musto. Another pass she was looking for. I saw that's Ambrogi even there, looking up for Carla Musto. Carla Musto clearing it, and Nunez is going to stiff round for that. Cummings confidently dealing with it in the end. Bucks in that one, long. And Lauren Bruno turning away from Cruz, but Cruz getting a fist in it, and it's back again with the white shirts, and Snyder Sends it in towards Nunez. The pass is driven out wide. Got lots of options coming up in the middle for her if she can find one. Gives it back to Snyder. Snyder! Right at Torres. But it's well worked chance there by the Rough Riders. She found herself a bit of space in number 10 and she's already got 1 goal to her name this season. Carla mostly got a big head on that one. And Lexa Snyder. So assured on the ball and giving it to Colin Musto. Back in towards Snyder, but just ran away from her the pass. Rosie's going to have to watch that one. She gets a nice touch on that one, the centre back. Her and Kimberly Mara have been a really solid pair for the Rough Riders this season, who really have not conceded much at all, the Rough Riders this season. Haven't scored too many either, but had a very solid defence. And actually all 5 of the Rough Riders' goals this season have come in their last 3 games. And Rose tussling away with it, with Bowen, or Severini even. And the referee judging Rose to have been impeded. It's another opportunity for the Rough Riders to hit it in to the danger area. And Mara sending that one in right towards Torres, and Torres watches that one easily enough and gathers. Elizabeth Cruz winning that one back. Rose to Snyder, and Rough Riders just having a little bit of the better of the game right now. Tesoriero. It's got the much bigger Cummings on her. She's done well then. It's going back to Wieniek. And Wieniek can set away Buck, and Buck's got some space in behind. It's going to be a corner kick for the Rough Riders. And looking much more promising at the moment going forwards. Long Island. Mara is going to be the deliverer again. Sent in, Torres gets a fist on it. Tesoriero hits it back in. Torres getting a big hand on that. There's a lot of bodies in front of her. Snyder just couldn't get her foot down on it, and Severini, who Snyder pulled back. It's going to be a free kick to Copa. And the sun is back out, and so is the heat therefore. Probably expect a war break in about 10 minutes or so for these players. And on the far side can see Copa trying to make their first change of the game. And that one's flicked on though, and Costello, who hasn't seen too much of this first half, and I guess needed a bit more of a warm-up touch there, lost it, but it's going to come back to Severini. Amanda Buck staying very tight to her and doing well there, Buck. And it's a little bit of a cheap free kick there given on Rose. And Copa will have their chance to send it in. And it looks like Cristina Estremera, who's going to come on, and Strout coming off. So Estremera is going to come on in centre midfield. She is one of the taller ones for Copa. Just tried to get onto this cross. Bowen sending it in. Cummings getting her first head on it. And it was Kuna there who got their final touch. Couldn't get the direction on it.
So if you were in the mountains, in the Yellowstone in California, you would get attacked by a bear.
Flipped on to Nunez. She has both Tesoriero and Cruz, and she's looked in towards Tesoriero, too close to Torres. But the gaps are starting to appear for the Rough Riders. Nunez in particular, and she's having a moment. She's proven already this season. She got the finishing touch. Snyder giving in to Cruz. Cummings, who's been very commanding in that centre-back position. Winning back again, Colamusto getting a good head on it. And it's sent hopefully up towards Severini. It's fallen to Kuna. And Mara read it really well and cleared the danger. That almost fell very kindly for Copa's top scorer. And that was a foul throw there by Severini. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are watching us on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We have got all of the Rough Riders, women and men's remaining home fixtures on this channel. And we're going to have quite a summer and full season schedule for you as well. We just finished the spring season and we did 66 games in spring from March 27th up to the end of June. And we're just getting started here at Game of Frame. We really appreciate you tuning in to support both these teams, and hope you're enjoying the coverage. And Copa are preparing to make another change in that far side. Looks like a Lackey stretching and getting ready to enter the fray. Presumably he's going to come on for one of the forwards of Copa. Snyder bringing it forwards. Lovely feet by Snyder, and she's left Bruno for dead. Still going Snyder. Sent it towards the back post. And Tesoriero, she's in a very tight angle, but the goal was gaping. And superb work by Snyder, who showed a mix of cunning and determination to escape two of the Copa defenders. Covered a lot of ground down to the byline. There's a scintillating cross in. Tesoriero. No, she probably should have put that one away. And it is Lackey who's come on, moving on to that right wing for Stano. There's Lackey with our first touch. We've got another sub. And it's Rose coming off for the Rough Riders, and Hope Neal will move into that right centre midfield position. And for Copa, it's Costello who had the best chance. Costello even, sorry, who had the best chance in that first half, making way. And Jorzak is moving into centre forward alongside Kuna. And Mara send this one in. We've just passed the hour mark in this second half. Sent in towards the keeper. And again, well gathered by Torres. As we move into the last 30 minutes, unless the fatigue catches up with them, I expect both teams going to keep trying to find that goal. Draw is not a satisfactory result for either in this stage of the season. They're both off the playoff spots. And here's a chance for Jorzak, who's got her left foot shot on it, and it was hit straight at Gillette. Show some good bullishness there, the substitute, to get ourselves the chance. And Gillette getting quite the hoof on that one. One back by Tesoriero, who's looking to set away Neil. Jorzak turning, and she's looking for Severini. Intercepted by Buck, who just clears that one out. And it's going to be a fourth sub. Copa had made very quickly in succession. And it's Brigitte Duziek coming on. It looks like she's moving into the centre forward position, with Kuna moving to the left side. Jacqueline Bruno sends that towards Kuna, but overhit. Tesoriero is going to chase that one. Cruz is all by herself in the middle, and it's sent in towards Cruz. First touch taken her wide, gives it back towards Neil. And Bowen clearing it out. Well read by Bowen. Cruz has certainly livened up the Rough Riders attack in this second half. But the factor now to consider as well is all front four of Copa are fresh. And with the heat, everyone who started us had to play in that is going to be a factor. No one in the Rough Riders defence has been substituted yet. In fact, the only outfield player who has been substituted thus far has been well, the subs who have gone on, sorry, has been Cruz and Neil in the outfield. Lovely little bit of feet there by Estremera. And it almost fell kindly for Kuna. And Brogi, or Colamusto, dealing with that danger. And the referee calling for another water break. We're 25 or so minutes into the second half. And guys, whilst we do have this water break, I feel it's my duty to remind you at 8 p.m. we're going to have the Rough Riders men, who we've got all sitting over here. Give us a wave, Rough Riders men. Who wants, if you want to hold up fingers, what's the score prediction? Yeah, no, your one. Your one. Who wants to do a pre-match interview? You're allowed to do that? Eddie Speed. Eddie, I live streamed your brother once, you know.
Sorry?
I live streamed your brother, Borgetto.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have, yeah. He gave an interview, actually. Tommy.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, go on,
He did.
Speedy, you got it.
Eddie, how you feeling about? We're a long way away. This is like the safari. It's like we're watching a lion. But Eddie,
Yes.
how are you feeling about the game today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of halfway through the season. On the other half of the season, I think it's going to be a, good game. Obviously disappointed after the last game, but we come in today, after a solid training session last night, and then yeah, just come in, focus what we've got to do today, and get the job done.
Now, you guys have got the best defence in the league, a very German defence, but do you think their heads are going to be in the right place after yesterday?
Oh, absolutely. These Germans were brought up very positive-minded, so, they always say Germans are good at penalties. It's the same with our defence, they're very positive-minded and they're solid at the back, communication's very good, and they just got to keep it up today, and yeah, so it's important we just come off straight off from the start and give 100%,
And you popped up with, I remember, a great goal late on in the first home game we saw. you got Tom Owen. Are you fancying yourself to pop up with one today?
Well, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, I don't want to get too ahead of myself today. But
I'm sorry, Gaffer, some unscheduled pre-match interviews.
I mean, we just got to, like I said, doesn't matter who scores, who assists. It's just as long as we all get the job done and we move on to the next game afterwards. But our main focus is this game today, and it's going to be a good game. So yeah.
All right, thanks very much, Eddie. No, and you're a better interview than your brother. You don't say that. All right, guys, and we're back onto the field. And that game with the men's will be at 8 p.m. That was Eddie Speed from the Rough Riders men. And it's going to be Neil to come away with it. Colin Musto getting a good head on that one. Back with Estremada. Kuna looking to send that back across. And a very hopeful long-range shot by Bowen. And Gillette gathering that one. And that's right on the top of Bruno's head, and I think she felt that one. It's coming down from a long way. And Nunez twisting a turn, looking to try and get that half yard to shoot. Estremada. Anyway, looking for Nina Calamusto. One back by Estremada, who's injected some energy into that middle. Hope Neal. Snyder holding that one up. Tesoriero. And she's looking for Cruz, but just lacking that final pass there. They have about 20 minutes left in this game. It looks like Dudziak is going to have a breakaway, but she just couldn't bring it down with her first touch. She had a little bit of space to break into there. pretty physical over on that side of the field. It's going to be another Alan throw. Jozak. And that one's thrown in long. Headed away by Winiek. It's going to fall back for Jackie Bruno. Pirouetting around. And Duziek is coming down towards that byline. Good recovery by Buck, who just put enough pressure on Duziek to force it out. Tesserier again, good flick on Nunez, has given out to Snyder. And Snyder's looking in behind towards Cruz. It just wasn't quite the angle she needed. Mara's going to have to stay awake, but she's lost out. Jozak broke through the first tackle, but Ambrogi dependably covering it for the second. And tossed in to Lackey, and Lackey's moved on to that left side now. Duziek on the right. And there's a late tackle on Bruno, and it's going to be another Rough Riders free kick. Byrne will deliver this one in. That's a big figure of Cummings to aim for, but she's hit that straight one at the wall, Bowen. And Lackey's first touch let her down. And right now, we've got 14 minutes left, but we are heading for a 0-0 at the moment. It's thrown up towards Cruz. Just couldn't get it in the direction she's looking for. And Winiek with a good tackle there on Estremera, but Estremera rode the first time, back with Winiek. Winiek drew it out towards Cruz. Allen got the strong tackle in on her. A nice turn by Mara to get a hold of that one. But Winiek gives it back to Ambrogi. Ambrogi is looking for Cruz, but Cruz hobbling after that collision with Allen. Cruz not looking good, moving very gingerly. And the trainer's going to have a look at her. You'll see someone warming up on the bench for the Rough Riders, but For now, they're down to 10 men. Tesoriero. Lovely turn by Tesoriero. Gives out to Nunez. And she's got Buck up on that far side. Cruz asking to come back on. And the fourth official just holding up his hand as she still hasn't been let back on Cruz.
Go, Bridge, go!
In the meantime, here comes Duziek. Driving forwards. Sent back in towards!
Finish! Oh, Bridget, nicely done!
And Jozak couldn't finish it, and that's 2 golden chances that Copa have not managed to convert.
Nicely done, Bridge!
It was a good run down the right side by Duziek. And the ball fell very kindly for Jozak even. Right, and there's the 6-yard box. She couldn't deal with it. It looks like Cruz is moving a bit more freely now.
It's over, it's over!
And Hope Neal got caught on the back by Jacqueline Bruno. Not happy with that call. Now just looking route one towards Tesoriero. And then clearing it out. Ten minutes left. It's still all tied up, 0-0. And both these teams, as we're approaching towards the end of the season, about 3 weeks left in it, needing a win to get themselves in that promotion playoff spot contention. And Nunez certainly not giving up on that one. And forcing it out for a throw-in for the visitors right by the corner flag. Lucky hoofing that one clear. Jozak is looking to turn around at Brogy, but not an easy task as she found, but it's going back to Jozak. Past her Kuna was overhit though. Lackey. Plenty of red shirts to aim for. She looks to find one. Colossal frame of Ambrogi gets them net. Jozak was looking to slip through Estremada, couldn't find her. Akuma on the turn. Looking hairy for a moment, cleared out by Carla Musto. Snyder gives it to Nunez. Well watched by Bruno. And Duziek going down a little bit easily there. Winiak gives it to Snyder. And can the Rough Riders fashion themselves out another chance before the end of this game? Jacqueline Bruno. Give it to Duzier, who couldn't keep it in. Snyder gives it to Winiek. Some tired legs out there, and there's some gaps are starting to appear. Hope was looking for Cruz, but just forced the pass. And Bowen is looking to spread that out to Lackey, and she finds us a good pass out to Lackey. And Lackey taking that early shot, comfortable for Gillette. Not enough pace on the strike. Colomo's just send that down the line. And Neil was looking for a flick on, but no one had moved in behind. And the Rough Riders making another change. And it's Bermudez who's coming on, and Janine Nunes who's putting a lot of running in the heat for the Rough Riders up front. Didn't get too much joy today, their top scorer. And Bermudez is going to have a chance in these last couple of minutes to try and make the difference. Copa also making another substitution. And it's Lauren Bruno coming off in a very short display in the right back position. And Bin coming on that right back. Lackey. Nice turn there, and she's looking to give it in behind for Jozak. Couldn't find her. Bermudez with those fresh legs, taking that throw quickly. Looking in for Cruz, and Cruz has battled through two tackles. She threw Cruz, and she tried to set it back for Hope, and the pass just wasn't quite there. Hope twisting again, and Allen with some last-minute evasive manoeuvres to get that one out. Cruz did so well to get past the two defenders. Just the final pass, not right. Snyder. And she's gone down, Snyder. The referee judging the ball was got Snyder not happy with that one. It's going to be a corner kick though for the Rough Riders. Got about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. And the last time we were at Motor Midfield, we saw some late drama from the men's. They scored right in this moment from the very same corner flag. They got a late winner to make it 1-0. Let's see if the women's can repeat their feat. Sent in by Mara, cleared out by Cummings. Back with Carla Musto. Mara sends it back in, and Neil was looking around for it. Forward back to Tesoriero, who struck it off Cummings, still bouncing around. And Tesoriero caught that one really well. Hit a red shirt. Would have been very hard for the keeper to react to that one otherwise.
Go, go, go!
And a handball called there. Kuna.
Keep fighting, Red! Keep fighting!
Tesoriero was the one who separated these two sides when they faced each other on Saturday, getting the only goal of the game. Very nearly made her mark again in dramatic fashion. It's going to fall back to Neil. Neil takes the shot. Torres down smartly, had a lot of time to watch it. As we're in the last minute of regulation time. Kuna gives it out to Lackey. Two red shirts in the middle, but Lackey was offside. And they've missed that chance, Copa. Both teams trying to find that little second wind in this heat in these last few minutes to get a win. Neil back to Buck. Snyder. Flicked on by Tesoriero, and Cruz will chase that. Substitute bin is in the right place. But it's given back to Tesoriero. Tesoriero just looking for the reverse ball, disguised it back for Neil. Neil has found some good spots, but hasn't been found so far. And Wieniek long towards Cruz. And Cruz coming from an offside position. And Steve Price not thrilled with that call. Well, we're in added time now. And Cummings is just going to send this one up long. Jozak just sold it too long for Lackey. And both teams have had a couple of chances in the second half. It has been Copa and then who had the two really clear-cut chances. They'd be disappointed they couldn't put one away. But the heat has been such a factor for both these teams to fight. Bin.
Nice, go, turn and go!
Goes that to Duziek. And Duziek chips down towards the back post. And it's fallen for Jozak, who again, it's not converted. Tesoriero, and we've got to be in the final couple of seconds of this game now. The referee taking a quick look at his watch. Bermudez gives it back to Colin Musto. Doesn't get the right connection.
Attack, Red, attack!
Bermudez. Hope. And that's a free kick given to Copa. Oh, sorry, to the Rough Riders. I have to say, it looked a little bit more maybe the other way. The referee's going to call that one back. And the Rough Riders probably take this. It's a chance to hoof it. Mara's going to punt that one forwards. Snyder flicks on. Bermudez is through! And Bermudez, she's offside! And that looked like a very marginal call. And that's not the first time this season we've seen the Rough Riders denied at the death by an offside call. And it's times like this that I wish I had launched Game and Frame VAR, because the linesman, not sure what's going on, he's calling over the referee now. I think the linesman just calling the referee over to ask him to have a word with Steve Price, or maybe consult. Bermudez finished that one very well. And the referee giving a yellow card to the referee's assistant coach. Or I think actually, sorry, Guglielmo. But some late drama in this 0-0. And that was pretty much the last kick of the game. And that's certainly a talking point. It's finished 0-0 at Motorhead. Not really the result either teams wanted, as they're chasing those promotion spots. As I said, competing with very hot day out there. It was Copa who in the first half had the really golden chance for Costello. And then Jozak in the second had another golden opportunity right on the edge of the box. He couldn't convert either, couldn't hit the target. Rough Riders having a few good chances themselves as well. Tesoriero hitting it well, blocked off a red shirt. And Bermudez right at the death, being denied that stoppage time winner. Can you mute me for a sec? And guys, just a reminder, this is not going to be our only Rough Rider action today. We're going to have the men kicking off in little over half an hour, 8 p.m. They're going to be facing off against Westchester Flames. And guys, we will be back for that game. We'll be back on air in about 15-20 minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's finished 0-0 between the Rough Riders women and Copa. And we'll be back shortly, guys.